I'll come to know we were living in the ghetto. I didn't know, but it was still, compared to coming from Africa, it was like a major change. So I had no complaints. And we went to school. But one thing about me when I was with this new family, every day I would get into fights. And at school, I got suspended my second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and uh, even fifth grade. So, because I came from, just being in a gang, rebel. So, I didn't take anything from anybody, even the mom that adopted me. I just did my own thing, kind of, took care of my own business. I was just prideful, just thinking that, my dad's going to come, and when he comes, then I don't have to care about these guys. So it was my end of my third grade year. I remember coming back from school. I usually talk to my dad every like month. He would call and just check on me and see how I'm doing. He told me he's coming to America and we can live together and all this and that. So I was excited because I was getting tired of the family I was with. And came from school, and it was like, it was a phone call for you, Kasu. I went on the phone and picked up the phone. I was like, hello? And it's my stepmom. She was like, your dad passed away. And instantly, everything just went numb. I just felt like, man. It's like went in my room, cried every day. Just went to school. When somebody said something, I retaliated with my fist. Got into more fights. Started, picking on, try to find somebody to fight, anybody to throw fists with, and I remember lying on my bed, and I've heard about God. There were people that would come and volunteer in the apartment complex. They would, take us out for soccer. They would start a basketball league, soccer league. And one of the guys named Coach Damon, he he talked about the Bible all the time. At first I didn't like Christians, but after they were taking care of my mom, and at the time the single mom, just feeding us, giving us clothes and food, my guard went down. I just tolerated them. And I would let them talk about their Jesus and just listen. Coach Damon did a great job just going through the Genesis through Exodus about Moses. I like Moses. It's in the Quran, it's cool. I agree with that. But when he gets to the topic of Jesus, then we got a problem. So I remember, all these, my dad just passed away. So I'm like sitting on bed, just like, why? Crying, like, why did my mom leave? Why did my father, why he have to die? Now I have nothing. I got no inheritance. I got nothing. Like, everything that I, was supposed to have for my future is gone. But at this time I was, still getting the fight. So somebody encouraged my mom at the time to take us to a private school, and it was they told her it's gonna be a Christian private school, just to warn you, but it will be better than him going to a public school because he always gets into fights. So they transferred me to a private school, neighborhood school. They talk about, they have chapel. One of the main subjects is Bible, and they talk about the gospel and stuff like that. So I had no choice but to hear about Jesus no matter what. And I remember it was one of our breaks. They usually have volunteers that comes in on like break time lunch hours. And this lady named Miss Priscelli, she was in charge of assigning kids to prayer partners. And she saw me, she noticed that I was new, and I'm just sitting there drawing. You know, I usually just draw to escape my emotions, whatever. I just kind of draw it on paper, and you know, she complimented my drawing and asked about my story. I told her what happened, and she read this verse to me. I want to share with you guys. She was like, "Kasu, I am very sorry to hear that. Can I tell you about what Psalm says?" He was like, "Kasu, God is the father to the fatherless." And guys, instantly I was healed, because I asked the question like, dude, why did my Quran that I, been reading and praying 5 times a day, fasting, didn't help me at all? But this lady reads from her Bible. I'm healed instantly. And I realized there's something more to this Christianity that I need to, investigate for myself. It says here in Psalm 68, starting at verse 4, "Sing to God, sing praises to his name, lift up a song to him who rides through the desert. His name is the Lord, exalt before him. Father of the fatherless and protector of widows is God in his holy habitation. God settles the solitary in a home. He leads out the prisoner to prosperity, but the rebellious dwell in a parched land." So, I started trusting this lady, and she eventually decided that she wants to be my prayer partner. She usually assigns people, but she decided to take the role of, I'm gonna be your prayer partner. So every lunch, maybe once a week, we would go out to an art museum. I like art, and have food, McDonald's, all that, little snack here and there. She was a very healthy eater, and I had to learn how to eat a lot of healthy food because of where we usually eat. So she always encouraged me. So I met her husband, kids. They were all older than me. The youngest was finishing college, and I was in like 5th grade. I went to Thanksgiving with them. I went to spent the night for Christmas. I did Easter. First time I ever found a golden egg twice in a row. No, 3 times in a row. Every year. So so I'm going to my 8th grade. That's when you graduate after 3 years of doing this. So now I'm gonna separate 2 families. So we have my African family that adopted me, and now the American family, the white lady, Miss Priscilla, who's my prayer partner. So I'm gonna call her my American family. So African family is the Sillas, and the American family is the Priscelli. So my African family, my mom at the time, she did not like the way we were changing. At this time I was very full of joy. The pain of my dad was getting a little better, and she decided that we were gonna become Christian if we keep hanging around these people. And she said, "No more, I can't do it." And this made me really angry, and I didn't like it. And thankfully my uncle took over my family, my real family in Africa. So we got 3 families. So my African family, my American family, and my blood family came from Africa, and took the role of my dad. My uncle took the role of my dad. They came to America 2003. So 3 or 4 years later, after we have already arrived, and they were stationed in Texas, but I was in Memphis. My uncle came to visit that summer, and we hung out for the whole summer in Texas. I came back. I decided that I didn't want to live with them no more. So drama happened. At the end of the story, it's a lot of detail. I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the main course. Eventually, my uncle asked me, who do I want to stay with? Do I want to stay with the real family or this American family? And I said, I'll stay with the American family. They seem, they will help me with my education and stuff like that. So I stayed with them. And from there, they thought it would be wise to send me to a boarding school in Mississippi called French Camp Academy. Basically, French Camp Academy is a school where they teach you, about God 24/7. So you wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. You clean your room. You do your little normal routine, and then you eat breakfast, and then you have devotion. You go to school. You have chapel at 12. You go back to school. You get out of school at 3. If you're not playing sports, you're working. After work, you go eat. After you eat, you have like a little free time. After 5 or 6, and then you do your homework. And you do your homework by 8, 9 o'clock. You're in bed, and you do it all over again. And you do this through Monday through Friday. On Saturday, you work early from 9 to 12, and then you have free time all day until, 9 o'clock again. And then Sunday you have church. So basically, I'm going to stop my testimony here and do a part 2. I don't want this to be too long. But I just want to share another verse. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans not to harm you, but to give you a hope and a future. Guys, he already know us before we were born in our mother's womb. He already determined what our life was going to be. But our free will keeps us from the goodness of God. God for so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is in eternal life in Christ Jesus our Lord. And, if we confess with our mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, then we shall be saved. So guys, I just want to encourage you, man. The reason why I say Jesus is real, because for me, I needed someone to save me from the emptiness I had in my life. I lost everything. I lost my life before Christ was, my mom left me. I was very lonely. After my dad passed away, I was afraid, and I felt like I had nothing meaningful in my life. But when this lady talked about this Jesus, I had to go search. I went and searched. So this part 1 is all about me wanting to go search the truth. I didn't just believe it. No, I went and searched it out for myself. So I'm encouraging you guys to search out the truth. For you do not want to meet God, and say, oh, I just didn't think it was possible. Search it out, ask questions, man. If you have any questions, please send me an email. I'll do my best to answer. If you have prayer, any prayer requests, please put it, send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to pray. God bless.